Good afternoon. This is Darlene coming back on again. There's a few things I want to go ahead. I don't believe I've turned on the comments yet on any of my videos. And the reason I've done that is I don't want negative energy coming towards me, which it would come either way, but I always return to sender. So, one of the reasons I made this, so just say that it's for entertainment purposes. Take what you will, throw the rest away. You decide at what fits for you, and if anything does, and if not, then let it go. So, what I'm going to do, Friday, I was going to come on, and I was going to post one of my paintings, and Spirit the Divine said, don't do it yet. So there's a series of 15 paintings that I did in a series that talk about, was a vision I was given of the duality of our world. Not only the duality of it, for every positive, there's a negative. For every bits and pieces of your life, there's always a positive way of looking at something and a negative way of looking at something. So I'm going to just start there before I end up posting those paintings, and then there will be a write-up on them and what I see and how I went down this rabbit hole and then got all this information and did the paintings. Actually, I did them with Gemini AI, and because for some reason, if I speak my vision into the Gemini, it comes out much better than me actually doing the painting itself. But I thought it was real interesting. It came out similar to one of my paintings, so I was kind of stoked about that. And that being said, what I want to talk about is healing. So when we are healing ourselves, you know, that's one of the reasons I've taken the last 8 years out, and will continue to until I feel I am healed enough before I can interact into another relationship. Until I feel that's done, I have no intention. Sorry, my freshener's going off. And then I won't, I will still be me and learning to love who I am and being who I am. That being said, that's kind of where I decided that I like to talk. And it's been real hard. There's somebody I found, Unicorn Channel, and she's amazing. I absolutely love her. She talks a lot like I do, and I get her. And she talks a lot about in-depth of unity consciousness. I don't believe, I believe in unity, Christ consciousness. That's more like it. I believe we all carry a piece and a piece of the truth with us. And until we are all united in peace, I don't think the whole planet will evolve until that time comes. We have enough, okay, I don't want to go down another rabbit hole, so stop. And I have to do this to myself. So, what I am saying is, the first thing I'm going to talk about is my life. Because, you really know nothing about somebody else's life unless you've walked in their shoes. So I figured, how about I talk about my life and allow you to walk through my shoes and what my healing journey has been like. Because it's not easy to heal. There's a lot of understanding that you have to give to yourself and to others. And so, I was born, and I was born to my mother and father, biological. I was with them until I was 2.5. At 2.5, our father took my 13-month older brother than me and my 18-month younger brother with me, the three of us, and dropped us off at our grandparents' house. I was 2.5 at that time. So that right there opens up what? It's abandonment wound. You have a biological father wound. You had a biological mother wound. And what I realize in those three, so basically a lot of what I'm going to be talking about is the actual archetypes. And the first thing is the father-mother wound. The one thing I had to think of and really sit with is, yes, so what were my reactions in my life that it caused pain? Because abandonment, what that does is then I enacted, well, if I feel that, if I get a feeling or a relationship's not working out, what have you, guess what? I'm packing up, I'm leaving. Before somebody leaves me, I'll leave first. And that is something I had to realize that, it's okay, Darlene. Abandonment, yes, it does happen. But, everybody has their parts in a relationship. And what I had to realize is holding on to that wasn't good for me, wasn't good for anybody else. And the one thing I had to realize in my parents' case, my biological father only had like a 3rd or 5th grade level. I can't remember exactly. It's somewhere between there. And was already working, and back in those days, that's the way it was. People worked. They were like 9, 10, 12 years old and they were working. And this is the South, so there were cotton fields, and I know he worked in one of the cotton fields and what have you. But the one thing you have to realize is no matter what happened with your parents, if you had parents and you had the abandonment issue, is they did the best they could with what they knew and the knowledge they had at the time. So that's the one thing that relieves, and it's not my shame. It is not my shame to carry. It was, that's another thing, was it brought upon, okay, great, I'm not with my biological family. I'm abandoned at my grandparents' house, and here I am at 2.5 years old. Now, there are more that's going to go on, but that's the one I wanted to get through today, was the abandonment. And a lot of us, I don't think we give people understanding that they, whoever they are, do the best they can with what they have and what they know. It's a lot different for somebody, it wasn't, I can't speak for what other people, you can only speak on yourself. So yes, I had this wound. Yes, this is why. I didn't find until later in age what the real reasons behind everything were. But even then, when things are told to you, it's off each individual side and they don't match up. So is it really mine? No, it's not. That's theirs to carry, and they have to carry their own burdens. Your children do not carry your burdens, and unless you heal it. So healing it is what I am doing, and I'm kind of going to go about that. My healing, I went on a spirit quest for a week, and it's just a lot about people. Like, one of the main things I can say is people forget how powerful their words are, because all the words you speak create the reality that you have or that you want. So if you're spewing a bunch of negativity, guess what? That's exactly what's going to come back to you. And that's where I was like, oh, wow. And then you stop, and like I wrote down like all these things, and it's like, wow. So a lot of individuals are taught negativity, and we are not here to do that. We're here to uplift people. And so, the word is powerful. Not only is the word powerful, but when you speak, you're casting spells. You're casting other things that come from your mouth. So what you are putting out is what you're going to get back. And it not only is voice, the word, it is also how you think. So I can tell you one of the things that I have done, and I've been doing it for 8 years now, and that is sleep meditation. So the sleep meditation, and it's reprogramming your mind. And I use a Jose Silva, which is amazing. And it has done wonders for me. So, I mean, I would strongly suggest looking up one of those, listening to it for yourself during the day to make sure there's nothing in there that you don't agree with, and then go from there. But that's it for today. And then tomorrow we will talk about another archetype, and we'll go forward from there. You everybody have a wonderful, blessed day. Bye-bye.